Well, to answer your question, is adoption for everyone? Not really. And I will defend my statement. Okay? Now, prospective parents, when they seek adoption, one, childless couple. The second one, parents who already have a special needs child but want a healthy child. Please listen to me carefully, because they want to enjoy that parenthood and they want to enjoy the child growing up in normal ways. And the third kind is parents who have a normal child and they would like, for social cause, want to adopt a special needs child. Now, how do they know whether they can handle or not, like Dr. Sharda said? So it needs to be evaluated by a general physician. In those days when they did prospective parents interviews, they would have the medical history of the parents also, and I would check on their thyroid, the diabetes, and other aspects, because all those matter. Okay, if they are not healthy enough, how would they have the energy to care for the child, even if it's a healthy child? Forget about the special needs child then. Okay, and also this, some parents also want older child. Older child, a child that has outgrown diapers. They think the job is less. No, it has different sets of responsibilities. Okay, and I'm going to use this term. It is crude, but please bear with me. Replacement child. Who is a replacement child? I already have lost a child, could be 8 years or 18 years, okay? And then I want to replicate. So when they want to adopt a child, they want to name the child, the deceased child's name. They want the child to pursue whatever interest that child was interested. Now, how can we as psychologists recommend this parent for parenthood? Now, is it child-centric or parent-centric here? Whose whims and fancies we are trying to face here? So this becomes a dilemma for us as psychologists to educate and sensitize. So when I work with this replacement prospective parents who come for children, first I work with them on grief counseling. They have to put a closure to that chapter of that life and enjoy this parenthood as a new experience, not as a continuation, because they could be setting the child up for failure, isn't it? So in that sense, not really. Okay, with older child, are Indian parents ready? You know what? Parents who love to enjoy the parenthood, definitely they are ready. But then it comes with both brickbats and bouquets. So it is not like you're going to dress up your child as a doll and do a showcase of the child. The reality is the child is going to poo, vomit, and cry in the middle of the night. Are you willing to take care of both? That's what it requires. So I'm going to have the other two respond to this. Is adoption for everyone, and what about the special needs?
No, special needs is something that it is very much individual choice. We can't just force anybody, we can't coax anybody, and it is a lifetime kind of commitment one is making. But it should be voluntary, it should be natural, and there are people who choose on their own, and that is what is happening. But why it is not happening in greater number in India? That is mainly because the adoption, as you said, has been most of the parents who are opting for adoption is only because they couldn't have their own biological child. In such people, they want to really go through a normal parenthood. That is their desire, that is where they are coming. We can't blame them at all. We cannot really say that why Indian parents are not taking on special needs child. And second option is also, For a special needs child, when you are comparing it with Western environment, there's a lot more scope for that child to really lead a near normal life, if not exactly a normal life. When with the kind of a training, with the kind of a social input and the government facilities that is provided, but which is all sort of very much lacking in India. That is also we have to address. If we make it easier for the parents to raise a child who is actually a special needs child, by giving the community and the government system is actually supporting them, in that case maybe we may have more parents coming in. As she said that there are 3 different category of parents, and we found that more ideal parents are who already had normal children, but consciously make a decision that they want to really care for another special needs child. I think that kind of adoption could work out. We can't really predict in any adoptions, but that kind of adoption could work out much more successfully. That's my opinion.
So,
thank you.
So this is one thing that adoption itself is the constant battle that we have within the society as well as within the adoption system, is that it's perceived to be like a noble deed or a charity, and that and I think probably that's not the right way to approach adoption itself. It should be just a way of expanding a family, and even when it comes to special need, it is not a charity that you're doing. It's just that you've just opted for this and you take on the responsibilities like any other thing. That's one. Secondly, when we were talking about like all parents would only want a normal, healthy child. Well, I mean, we have seen cases, in many cases, where you could probably have children through the adoption or through the biological route, all well and healthy in the beginning, and then you're going to see some concerns. So then, so where do we draw the line here when it comes to, opting for a healthy child? So what is the parameter here?
No, that is something, when you are actually legally adopting a child under an act, both the acts that is now available, it says that now this child is as good as your biological child. And so you also mentally accept this is my biological child. So even if you are, whatever your own child also, after 10 years there's some other health issue crops up, nobody can help it. It is a natural way, and you have to, that is how, that is what is the preparedness of adoption. When we say at the initial stage itself, when somebody makes up their mind to adopt a child. It is something as risky as producing your own child also. That anything can happen with reference to medical issues.